Okay, we are live. We are live. Let me get the pregame up. Welcome to another watch along. We're actually here on time for Nets versus Orlando. Had to think about that for a second. We are 5-5. We did win the other day. It was not convincing by any stretch. That win was 102-94. Claxton returned, and Mikal Bridges took a ton of shots, the most in a game ever, for him in his career. Just freeing up some desk space. So yeah, that is really the situation. You can see the starting five here. We're going to be running with this lineup for the long haul because Cam Thomas is still probably a week away from evaluation. And Ben Simmons is out indefinitely, which is not really surprising. That guy cannot get any continuity, can't get a clean run at it, which is very much a shame. So yeah, that is basically the situation. 5-5 going into the next 10 games is optimistic. Well, there is reason for optimism because we've got some good fixtures coming up. This is another in-season tournament game. The Celtics, Nets, and Bulls have played. The Nets have played the most. They've played, well, every in-season tournament game thus far in our group has involved us. And we've got another game today. It'll be our third. And then we'll have like a little 2-week hiatus before we go again against Toronto. And that'll be the final group game. Amy, Ben, indefinitely. Bloody hell, yeah. Not really much else to say. I did say in the in my season preview, I anticipated potential stumbling blocks to that we would face with Ben Simmons. And sure enough, we've been hit with another one of those. I mean, the optimism, there's so much reason to not have optimism because this guy just cannot get a clean run at it. No matter how hard we've like rallied behind him. Really a shame. Really a shame. The excitement when Cam Thomas comes back. I mean, Ben is really important, and I feel like, well, Cam Thomas coming back is probably the most important piece because, hold on a second. Okay, should be good. Cam Thomas coming back will help us tremendously because of the half-court offense. We can't play with as much pace as we would usually with Ben Simmons, so that is the issue that we are currently facing. Finally, the stream's actually come up on the computer. For some reason, the stream wasn't allowing me to see it, until now. So that's pretty good. Let me just reset the timer. I don't know why it's on that. Starting lineups, I'll just run through those again just quickly. You can see the starting five for us. And for them, they've got Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Banchero, Wagner, and Bitadze. So, yeah. And if we go back to the injury report, Lonnie Walker was questionable for this one. He's been talking about a little niggle he has been carrying for the last, probably since the first game he played of the season, or his second game. And he's been carrying something. So, look, I don't want him to get injured. So, I don't know if that's a risk or what, but hopefully it's all clear for him. Yeah. I'll be right back. Hold on a second. All right, we're all good. I've just got a bit of a runny nose, so I just got a tissue. Um, all right. So, what was I saying before? Lonnie Walker, yeah, has had a bit of a knee problem, so I really hope that they're not overdoing that, because we need him fully fit and firing, especially with Cam Thomas out, because we need a bit of a scoring injection. So the more players we have that can do that, the better. Daniel Berry, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I just can't see us having success without an aggressive and imposing big. I was holding on to the dream that Ben would ramp up this season. I mean, there's plenty of time for him to come back. But yeah, Claxton isn't necessarily an aggressive and imposing big. At least it does offset the, that dilemma of having to deal with both Claxton and Simmons together. We don't need to worry about that fit too much for the moment because obviously one's only playing. So yeah. But pretty good. Pretty good stuff that we have been able to stay afloat in this stretch. We need CJ and Mikal to fire because they have been, well, Mikal's been inefficient from the 3-point line, and that's really dropping his field goal percentage. It's really dampening his efficiency. He's been really good in the mid range. He probably needs to find that shot a little bit more. But as for CJ, he missed quite a few shots on the weekend. I mean, or not on, was it on the weekend? If you're in America, it was. Cam Johnson was like 5 of 16. He was shooting 2 of 11 from deep, I think, in that previous game against Washington. So yeah, that's really the deal. But yeah, we're gonna need to see a big game from Mikal today. CJ as well. Claxton was really good on the weekend. I want to see more Trendon Watford minutes. We didn't see too many of those against Washington. So yeah, I want to see a bit more of that. I think there's going to now be more opportunity for Watford to play. Dinwiddie needs to handle the rock as well a little bit more. This guy was averaging like 9 dimes in his net stint at the end of last season. He hasn't been getting any usage, so I want to see a little bit of responsibility weighted onto Spencer with Ben out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But we are getting ready to start this one. Let me just get the volume at an adequate level. That's good. All right. So let me just get the screen up. You know the deal. And if you are enjoying the stream thus far, I mean, that being said, nothing's really happened. Make sure to drop a like on it. That'd be much appreciated. So anyway, first quarter about to commence. Damn, Anthony Black is 6'7". It's crazy. Same height as Dorian Finney-Smith playing the 4. So they're pretty tall. We're not particularly small either. We're 6'5" or taller. They are 6'5" or taller, but they've got a lot of players sitting at 6'10". So we're playing those Cause uniforms, in those Cause uniforms. Obviously playing on the in-season tournament court, which actually is probably the best court I've seen us play on because it's very light on the eye. It's in grey, with obviously that weird strip down the middle from, restricted area to restricted area. Anyway, yeah, I'm actually a fan of this. The ball is in the lap of the Nets after the tip was in dispute. So Nets 1-1 in the tournament. Going a try play for 2-1. Finney-Smith on the wraparound drive. He was looking for the dump off, and it was deflected out of bounds by Bitadze. So we are underway. And it'll be Nets on the baseline with 8 to shoot after the first possession resulted in nothing. Ball inbounded to Clax. Mikal just lost the ball. Wanted a foul. It's going to be a turnover instead. A bit of a 1-2. They find Bitadze under the basket. One more for Banchero. Was able to slip it through to Black. And they're going to roll it back out for a proper possession rather than doing something on the fly that's probably going to be irrational. Suggs. Finney Smith the contest, and he forces the miss. Johnson with the rebound. We push the pace through Mikal. He's held up by Black, but he's going to shoot the turnaround baseline J, and it's good. And we're on the board. It is the Nets who have the advantage in the early going. 2-0. So now the Magic, the handoff to Wagner, and Black will send it back to Wagner. Top of the key. Good high screen by Bitadze. The kick out. Banchero is open, and he misses. So Dinwiddie the rebound. And the Nets can get an early bit of separation. Dinwiddie the driving kick. Finney Smith on the catch. The Dallas cohesion. And it is good. 5-0 Nets. Doe with his first make of the game on his first attempt. Banchero going to back down Finney Smith. Oh, that's too easy. Too easy. Bitadze with the make +1. And it was Claxton who was caught in the air. And all Bitadze needed to do was just initiate a bit of contact. And it would have been an easy foul call for the referee. So, free throw coming up for Bitadze. He's actually been not too bad for the Magic at the center position. With Wendell Carter out. So the free throw is good. Obviously a former pacer. The Nets will inbound it. So 5-3. A minute in. Or nearly 2. Bridges. High screen Clax. Oh, come on, dude. It's almost like you can show a bit of theatrics and get the whistle going your way. That's a bit of a bullshit. That's a bit of a bullshit foul call. I don't know why he's gone for the armbar, though. And he's cleaned up Wagner in the chin. That is a 3 on the pull-up. It is well short and a rebound for Bridges. He gets it ahead. So I'm a fan of those long passes because we need to keep the pace up as much as we can because it really optimizes our play. Johnson, bounce pass to Bridges on the cut down the middle. Foul +1. And he shows the bench some love. And it will be a free throw for Mikal. So some good off-ball creation there. Jalen Suggs was trying to read the pass that would eventually end up with Mikal, but he's ended up allowing the little backdoor cut, and he's initiated the contact to Mikal on Anthony Black. So free throw coming up for Mikal Bridges. I need to turn down the exposure. This is way too over the top. Free throw is out. One second. Sorry, I'm just going to compromise the commentary for just a second. I turn down the exposure. There we go. That should be all good. We just forced a turnover. Jalen Suggs caught on the travel, so that's turnover number 2 for the Magic. So Nets have started well from the field. They haven't missed yet. The Magic have had a couple turnovers and quite a few misses. Bridges, drive, whips it to the corner. Claxton in the post. He put the ball on the floor, rolls it back out to Bridges. Skip pass to Johnson in the opposite corner. The drive and the bounce pass to absolutely no one. It was a good rollover by the Magic. And there's going to be a foul on Finney Smith. He was caught in the act, holding up Banchero on the fast break. And that's smart play by the Magic. Good defensive possession. Had us covered. All the outlets were blocked. 7-3. What? They called that a take foul? Bro. Okay, well, that's off. It doesn't matter. We're not going to get punished. But, fam, the amount of times we... Mate, the amount of times... Or there was like a there was a possession against, I don't know who it was, where I think it was Dinwiddie got tripped up. Or no, Bridges got tripped up against the Bucks. That's a good banker by the Magic. I think it was Suggs. I think Mikal got held by Bobby Portis in a fast break possession, and we didn't even get the take foul. It was a joke. Bridges, skip pass to Johnson, catch and shoot three. Good contest by Anthony Black, and as a point guard at 6'7", that's a great asset to have on the floor. Well done by CJ. He knocked the ball out of play. Good defensive activity after being, well, he's missed the shot and he's turned the ball over. We've got Dayron in nice and early at the 8:34 mark, so it looks like there may be an interesting play here by the Nets. Clax probably also slowly getting back into the swing of things. He only played 28 minutes or so the other night and came up very huge in the closing. Anthony Black is open. The three is off, and the rebound by Finney-Smith. I want to see Dinwiddie get some touches, man. He's got no possession of the ball in this game. Here he is now, right on call. Dinwiddie, the three. How is that not a foul? Johnson gets the offensive rebound, and there's an open look for him as well. That's off. Dayron, +1. This guy is an absolute unit under the basket, and he scores for 2. Wagner had no chance there, and that's what happens when you've got Batadze on the perimeter, closing out the shooter. Dayron under the basket on Wagner, that's always going to benefit you over them. So, free throw coming up for Dayron, and the free throw is off. So we have missed both of our free throws in the early going. Both were and one opportunities. So 9-5, 4 minutes elapsed, first quarter. Black to Wagner. High screen. Not really used. Black to the corner for Banchero. The kick out. Wagner back to Banchero again. One more. Black the spin. Pass again. And turnover. We forced the shot clock violation anyway. That's a quality defensive possession. Had him covered. Very similar to that Magic defensive possession a few possessions ago. Why on ESPN does it say Cam Thomas is playing? I have got absolutely no idea. Zero idea. I don't have an answer for you. Mikal? CJ? Bounce pass to Mikal on the wing. The three lines it up and it is good. So Mikal, after shooting an abysmal 2 of 14 from the outside, has scored his first three-pointer. Batadze, dared to shoot. It's an air ball. We live with those. We live with those. If you are enjoying thus far, you know what to do. Make sure to show your support. Drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new to the stream. Dinwiddie, the drive. Oh my goodness. That's what we're missing by not giving him any touches. That acceleration was incredibly good. Got by 2 defenders and was able to scoop it up and in. Got right by Batadze. That's way too easy. And Dinwiddie's got that scoring ability about him. I don't know why we don't use him more in those sort of situations. I don't want him to shoot pull-up threes. First box score check of the game, ladies and gentlemen. And okay, have a look. Box score. So we've held the Magic to 5 points in 5 minutes. That's an incredibly good start to the game. Magic have not made a three-pointer, which is a good sign from a Nets perspective. If we do look at the Nets, 7 to Bridges. He has not missed on his 3 shots. Cam Johnson, the only guy who has not made a bucket when he's attempted one, although he has been getting engaged on the defensive end. So, yeah. And in other scoring departments as well, with the assists, help with the rebounds, pushing the pace a little bit. Mikal is the man in the spotlight today because he did have a poor efficiency night with regards to shooting. So I thought I'd keep tabs of that and put him in the spotlight, see if he can perform. And thus far, he's been pretty good. 7 points, leading the way with half of the Nets scoring total. We've had 3 turnovers, though, so I'd like a little bit of a... Well, I'd like us to turn that down just a little bit. Is Lonnie on the bench? He sure is. Spencer should drive to the rim more. He's got that bag. He's just got acceleration, and he gets in the switch so many times, but he settles for the threes. I don't really know what the reasoning is for that. How do you feel about the Zach rumors? Well, I'm assuming you're talking about Levine. I don't buy it at all, one bit. I don't think there's much credibility to that because, like, why would we do that? It's like the Karl Anthony Towns rumors. Why would we do that? Unless we barely have to give anything up for Cat, I don't really see the benefit. Cat would have to play the 4, if anything. Would Minnesota take Ben Simmons? They probably wouldn't. So, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Magic are the 3rd youngest team in the league. The Nets are the 8th youngest, which is pretty cool. I didn't think we were actually that young. When putting it all into perspective, that being said, we don't have a player over 30. I think Spencer and Doe are the 2 oldest players on the Nets, which is pretty cool. Given last year we had like Seth Curry, Patty Mills, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, all 30 plus. And then the season before we had Paul Millsap, we had Blake Griffin, we had Morris. So all sorts. Joe Ingles is in, and I have seen a stat that he is a very good defender this year. So a good inclusion, triggering the first player to come in from the reserves for the Magic. This is great defense again. Magic can't really get into anything. Black, good cut by Suggs. One more for Batadze. And with 3 to shoot, they were able to get a very high percentage look. And it started off the back of the Anthony Black drive. We have a connection problem. The S Network stream just shut itself for a moment. Dinwiddie on the drive again. It's good to go. And Batadze is struggling with that matchup. So I think driving it, that has to be of complete and utter emphasis if you're Spencer Dinwiddie here. Banchero, help defense by Mikal. Don't know where the foul was there, but it's going to be shots anyway. The 6-11 mark. So 16-7 early going. The offense has been flying for the Nets. No resistance for the Magic. I believe that's Dinwiddie's first foul of the game. If it was on Dinwiddie. First free throw for Banchero is off. So they have also missed 2 free throws. Royce O'Neal checks in at the 6-11 mark, replacing carbon copy Dorian Finney-Smith. So the second free throw coming up for Paolo. That's good. So I believe that's the first free throw make in 5 attempts between both sides. We're about to breach the halfway point of this first quarter. Mikal receives the ball on the wing. He's going to drive and pull up at the elbow. And that rims out, but Dayron's there. Missed it. Got his own miss. And he scores again. So he's really chalking up those rebounds in the stat sheet. Absolutely stuffing the stat sheet. That bounce pass was straight to Royce and he couldn't gather it. I mean, he got in the right position. He just couldn't complete the steal. All right, so Magic into a set. Anthony Black on the perimeter. Now to Banchero. They're going to drive on O'Neal. The shot is up, and the shot is good on the baseline. I really would have liked to have seen Dorian Finney-Smith remain in for the entirety of the time Banchero's on the floor. Dinwiddie, I think, wanted a foul. He's going to be pinged for an over the back. No, it's going to be a foul on Anthony Black. Very, very late whistle there because Dinwiddie had already chased up his own rebound. And then the whistle was blown. So 2 shots for Spencer Dinwiddie at the free throw line. Can we actually score a free throw? Apparently not. The free throw's off. That's our 3rd miss. So Lonnie is in. CJ to the bench. So we're playing a much smaller lineup to the one we began the game with. Dinwiddie's second is good. The lead is back up to 9. I'm not sure what the highest margin was. I believe it was about 10. Ingles, the drive. Dayron, good contest, but Ingles gets it up and in over the top of that outstretched defense. Dinwiddie. Royce. Handoff to Walker. The 3 on the pull-up is an air ball. My goodness. That was well and truly off by a very long distance. It's best we don't talk about that one. Ingles to Banchero. Screen set. Banchero down the middle. Good contest by Dayron. And there's another foul. Dayron's arguing the point, saying, I was vertical. But it's not going to matter. Once the ref makes their decision, there's no changing it. We've got Cole Anthony into the game for the Magic. So, Magic earning their points from the charity stripe. The first free throw for Banchero. 2nd-year player. That's good. Magic are sneaky. Yeah, they're an interesting side. Not gonna lie. Very interesting team. Banchero misses the second, and Dayron secures the rebound. So the Magic and the Nets cannot make a free throw for their life. Dinwiddie, Mikal, good move. Skip pass to Walker, he's open. In the corner, it's good. And he's way too good to not be knocking those down. Great off-ball play by Mikal Bridges. And the Nets have their 3rd 3-pointer of the game. The Magic still empty-handed from the 3-point line. Banchero, good spin. And he's well off on that jumper from about 10 feet out. Dinwiddie to the corner for Walker. Picked up by Cole Anthony. High screen, Dayron, bounce pass to him. Layup is off. Foul is called. 2 shots coming up for Dayron Sharp. So he's been excellent in the early going. Bitadze is in utter disbelief. So 2 free throws coming up now for your boy. Bro, RJ on the Yes Network broadcast is so jokes. He is so jokes. He's got, like, his buttons undone to... Like, half the buttons on his shirt are undone, man. And now RJ is hugging Iron Eagle. It's a bromance in the broadcast booth. Alright. Good alliteration right there, by the way, by me. So first free throw is good by Dayron, and the second one coming up now. Mo Wagner is into the game in place of Bitadze, and the second is good by Dayron. So it turns out that he's actually better than anyone else from the free throw line, at least this evening, that is. 11-point lead for the Nets. It has opened up after the Nets have made a ton of threes and made some very good defensive plays. Suggs the kick out to Banchero. Did not shoot and then got punished. The steal by Johnson is going to pull up and not shoot the 3. Royce back to DSJ's in the game for Mikal. Johnson the 3 from way downtown. It's good. And the Nets have doubled the Magic score. And this is a very similar first quarter to the one we saw against Washington. It's an 8-0 run for the Nets in the last minute, Anthony. Another turnover. Walker deflects it. Dayron with the steal. Walker in transition. Kicks it out to DSJ. The drive. Ah, no! He got denied by the rim. I thought he was going to dunk it. He went for the layup package. Missed it. Now it's a 5-on-4. Ingles is open, and it's a 3. That's gone from A 16-point lead to now an 11-point lead for the Nets. Johnson to the corner for Smith. Is going to... What is he doing? Why is he shooting mid-ranges, bro? DSJ, just get Watford in the game. For fuck's sake. Watford is finishing that layup every single day of the week. Banchero picks up his dribble. Oh, that's a great screen by Banchero. Ingles catches fire, and it is a timeout for the Nets. That is DSJ's fault through and through. How on earth have you allowed... Like, they have halved what could have been a 16-point lead in about 30 seconds. Skyline, welcome to the stream. Who are your top 3 Aussie ballers? Giddy. I think Paddy Mills, every single time he catches fire in the FIBA tournaments. And then, who's the other one? I don't think I have a third one. Thibault technically is Aussie, and I really enjoyed watching him play when he was playing in the World Cup or the Olympics or one of those things. What's this old man Joe Ingles doing blowing a kiss to the crowd? You're not him. Well, the box score would indicate otherwise. Let me just go back. First I'll update the... I'm just going to update the spotlight. That's all updated. The box score would indicate, Caden, that you actually are wrong. Joe Ingles is him because he's actually top scoring for the Magic right now. He's got 8 points, and he hasn't missed. And he's part of a team that is actually, well, a unit of 5 that are contributing some decent enough minutes. They've made 2 threes, and Joe Ingles accounts for both of them. They've turned the ball over a little bit. The Nets, though, have had 6 more shots. They've hit 2 more threes, and they've hit the same amount of free throws on the same amount of attempts. We've already had 5 offensive boards, and Dayron is spearheading that. He's got 6 and 5 in the first quarter in 6 minutes. Incredibly efficient numbers. He is really stuffing the stat sheet, and the turnovers have gone down since I told them to turn down the turnovers. So, good stuff. That is the deal right now. I mean, I enjoy watching Joe Ingles because he's been quality for a number of years, but not against the Nets, please. Not against the Nets. Thank you very much. Claxton is back in the game. All right. So 12 rebounds to 3 players the other night. The last time that happened was in a double overtime game in 2010 involving Brook Lopez. So that's a fun fact for you. Yeah. But the last time it happened in a regulation game was in 2001 with Jason Kidd and Keith Van Horn involved in that. So there you go. A little bit of history for you. I've just realized I'm about 30 seconds behind the stream. So at the next timeout, I'll get that up to speed. Bro, DSJ got to go to the bench, man. I don't know what your boy JV really values about him. Here's Royce chucking up a 3 and airballing it. What a damn surprise. Cole Anthony, bounce pass, straight to Lonnie Walker. Good read, and another turnover for the Magic. Johnson relocates to the corner, and he knocks down a 3. That's smart play by CJ, and the Nets get to 30 in the first quarter. That's their 5th 3-point make, and CJ's actually been switched on today. He's been knocking down his shots nice and early, which is good. Him and Mikal, the twins, have been excellent thus far. Anthony, out to Ingles, top of the key, picked up by Dennis, and now Cole Anthony will shoot over the arm of CJ. It's off. Claxton gets the rebound, and he's going to bring the ball up. No, he's not. He's going to leave it for Royce. CJ. In an ISO on the wing, he's going to back down Anthony, and now Dennis cross to Walker. Walker going to drive. Step back 2 on the baseline. That is well contested by Jonathan Isaac, who was an incredibly long wingspan. Isaac lost the ball, and Dennis with the steal. Well disciplined on defense. Royce the pull-up 3. It's good. And we are living at the moment with these steals, man. 6 turnovers for the Magic in the first quarter. It's been a quality defensive display. We've had 12 points off those 6 turnovers, so we're capitalizing in transition. Not really surprising there. Wagner picks up his dribble. Wagner will hand it off to Ingles, who will go down the middle. Looks for Wagner on the alley-oop, and there's a foul. Claxton isn't even looking at the shooter, yet they've called the whistle on him. Okay, so now I'm gonna go live. There we go. So Wagner made the first, and he made the second with 34 seconds left in the first quarter. It's a 12-point Nets lead, a great first quarter. DSJ, Dorian Finney-Smith, is also in, who's going to now shoot the three. It's an open look, and he didn't get the bounce, but Isaac fumbled it out of bounds, and it's almost as if the slow bounce off the rim actually put off Isaac. It was a very slight deflection off the rim that caused Isaac to fumble it out of bounds. So it will be Nets ball. Inbounded to Finney-Smith. 6-second difference between shot and game. Cross-court feed by Lonnie to Finney-Smith. Lonnie again. Behind the back for Finney-Smith. Down the middle. One more to CJ. He's open in the corner. And that was shooting practice. Very lucky, the Magic, that he missed it. They got one to shoot. Half-court heave. It is in. That is Dinwiddie-esque. And he's knocked down a three from half court. That's ridiculous. And with 1 second left, so he could have actually bought more time. But regardless, first quarter's done and dusted. 33-24, should I say, at quarter time. And it's been a good first quarter by the Nets. I would have liked to have seen us up a little bit more because we've forced quite a few Magic turnovers and still conceded 24 points. Yeah. I mean, we had a couple opportunities, like the Magic went on a little 5-0 burst after we missed a finger roll at the rim uncontested. It was Dennis who did that. And then obviously that half-court heave on the buzzer that goes in, usually those aren't going in. So hopefully that's not a sign of things to come for the Magic and their fortune. That is what we're dealing with at quarter time. You can see the Magic have gotten a nice 8 points from Joe Ingles and then 5 from Batadze. Outside of that, not too much doing. They're shooting the ball pretty well and have gotten to the free throw line, but they've turned the ball over a ton. And for the Nets, well, we've gotten 2 threes from CJ, and Mikal Bridges is playing pretty well early on. Dinwiddie has also scored 5. I would like to see a little bit more run with him. CJ obviously playing the first 11 minutes is a good sign for his fitness. But it's going to be interesting to see how many minutes he gets. Claxton has already gotten 3 personal fouls, so that's why he's sitting out and Dayron's getting a bit of run. And he's doing a really good job, so I wouldn't be afraid if you're Jacques Vaughn to give him this run that he deserves. We've hit 6 threes. We've already had 10 extra shots and have only had 2 less free throws. That is on the back of 5 offensive rebounds. To the Magic's 0. And, of course, we've been forcing the turnovers in the open court, and we've really been punishing them. So that's why we've got the lead that we deserve going into this second period. It's been a good start. Referee handing out fouls like it's Christmas. Well, I mean, the Magic have been doing a good job of forcing them. I mean, some of them haven't been there, but, it is what it is. You got to live with it, mate. Yeah. But overall, can't complain with this first quarter. Do you know when Cam is back? I don't even think Cam Thomas knows when he's back. He did interview the media this morning, and he did say that he will be reevaluated soon. He's in a moon boot right now, so I think he's probably a week or 2 out from returning. Ben Simmons, as for him, I mean, JV was saying it was day to day, but now it's indefinite, which means it's probably going to be months on the side. We don't know. We've returned. That's nearly a turnover. Dennis does well, but he's going to get hit with the foul. That's just... I don't understand some of these fouls that they're calling, because you're like the last game as well, I think, or the game before, we were getting punished for playing defense. It was a joke. Play resumes for the Magic. They're looking for Isaac in the post. They don't get it there. Anthony, bit of a two-man game with Wagner. He's going to drive and pull up. Good defense by Dennis. He forced the very short shot there. And Mikal is also back in the game with Dinwiddie on the bench. Mikal into the paint. He got trapped under the basket and turned it over. It's Ingles, who will probably pull up for three. Nope. It was a good read. And the corner pop by Anthony was off. It rimmed out. And it's going to be Net's ball after it was deflected out of bounds. So, smart play by Joe Ingles. He forced the defender to come towards him as he pulled up. So, Dayron is the 5 on the floor at the moment. That could have been a backcourt, but it wasn't called. Lonnie now to Dayron. Hand off to Dennis. Can he not shoot the ball, please? Gets into the paint. Bro, he is obsessed with mid-range jumpers, and I haven't seen anything proving his credibility in that area. Anthony just lost the ball, then behind the back fed it to Isaac, who is off on the 3, and a rebound for Dayron Sharp. So, what I've learnt in this game thus far is that Dennis should never shoot the ball again. That 3 is off by Walker, and Dayron wasn't in optimal position to get the rebound. So the Magic go the other way through Ingles. The bounce pass to Wagner. It's good commitment on the help, but Wagner is open for a wide open 3, and that's good. So Magic cut it to 6 after trailing by as much as about 16, I reckon. So Mikal is going to drive and pull up in the mid-range, and that is good. Mikal's got 9. And he's shooting it incredibly well this evening. He's 4 of 5 from the field. That's what we want to see from our leading option, at least on the roster tonight. Anthony 1-on-1 with Smith. Driving kick. Ingles on the 3. Lines it up and he's good again. Man, since the bench have come in for the Magic, they're actually killing us. So Joe Ingles has 11, and he's leading the way. That's got to be a foul. Oh, you're kidding me. They're calling fouls on absolute rubbish, mate. Like, Ingles has just gone over the top of Mikal there. And then that is a clear and obvious foul by Dayron. So Mikal's a little bit ginger getting up, but he should be okay. It's just one of those minor knocks you get when there's a bit of incidental contact. That's just the way tightly contested physical games of sport go, really. We're going to need a little bit of a lift on defense, though, because, I mean, thank God they've taken Dennis to the bench, because he has offered nothing on offense, man. Wagner the drive to his brother, it's off. And oh my God, it's, oh, fucking hell. It's like a bit of pinball in there. And it's Magic free throws after we looked well and truly locked in for a steal again. It took about 3 deflections off Mikal. We were off to the races, and the Magic somehow ended up with it. Mo Wagner is an ultimate shit stirrer. So the first free throw is good for Mo Wagner, and he's cut it down to 4. He can cut it to a single possession with this make. And after a really positive start, it's just absolutely turned to shit. Bro, it hit Mikal's head twice. How has that even happened? Oh my God. Bro, Royce, I don't even care if you can't control that. That was fucking shithouse. Where's the box out on the miss there? Bounced too high, just went over the top of Royce, and Wagner was there for the follow. So, lead is now down to 2 for the Nets. Mikal on the driving kick. Royce whips it across to Dinwiddie. That is way downtown, and it's off. Good box out Wagner. They can take the lead. And it's in the hand of Joe Ingles. I would back him in to hit a 3. Instead, it's Cole Anthony trying it and he knocks it down. And they have the lead. So that is proof that games can turn incredibly quickly. And here is Exhibit A. Dinwiddie into the paint. That's got to be a whistle, man. Dayron. Oh my goodness, the persistence for 2. How many rebounds does this guy have? He's like baby Drummond off the bench. And he's got 8, and I reckon he's pushing a double-double in this first half already. And it's pretty mind-boggling, to be quite honest. Wagner puts the ball on the floor, missed it, and it's another foul. They're nearly in the bonus already. We've got 3 fouls on both our bigs. So, Magic will go to the line, and Wagner makes his first after splitting the pair on the previous trip. It is Banchero who returns into the game. Ingles to the bench after some quality minutes. So, yeah. So, we're going to need a box out again. And there's a lot of physicality under the basket there to account for all that size the Magic have got. Trying to crash the glass. The Magic have gone on a 14-4 run in the last 2 minutes. Mikal, tightly contested. Dayron has it now. Fakes the handoff and is blocked by Isaac. But you know what? I love the assertiveness by Dayron there. That is a big. Like, he got right by Wagner. It was just the help defense that was incredibly good by Isaac. We're going to be able to recycle it, though. We've got 9 to shoot. And we give it to Mikal. He's going to drive. Lost the ball. And a turnover. I'm not really sure how that's happened. That looked pretty unnatural for basketball. So maybe he got hit. Wagner, the pass. Other Wagner scores off the window. And the Magic, bro. They are switched on now. They're well and truly switched on. Dinwiddie. Down the middle. Held up. Good D by Anthony. Bridges. In a switch. Shoots a step back 2. That's well short. And you could tell as soon as he shot the ball. Magic in transition. That's another open 3. That's off. That looked very much online. O'Neal. Bridges. Early offense. Euro. 1 more for Finney Smith. That's open. It's off. And it's a rebound for the Magic. That was an excellent transition possession. Very stiff to not get something out of it. And now Banchero will slow things down. He'll back down Dinwiddie. The kick out, the rollover defense. Isaac is open. That's off. And a rebound by Bridges. So a few stops here for the Nets. We've got to capitalize on this. Finney Smith does not shoot. Puts the ball on the floor. Dayron, the scoop. He is fouled by Isaac. And he is a bit slow to get up. But these are excellent Dayron minutes. Excellent Dayron minutes. We're going to see a timeout. Let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat. Quite a few chat messages I've got to keep up with. We are screwed because both Sharp and Clax got 3,012 minutes. Yeah, I know. We'll be right. We'll be right. We just got to be a bit more disciplined. This is why you'll need Cam. That's not even the issue at the moment. The defense is the problem. The offense isn't actually too bad at the moment. Suggs needs to get right. Suggs has really done nothing in this game, to be honest. That should have been a call for the contact Isaac made on Sharp. As I said, some of these calls are a bit bullshit, but you know, and I'm not gonna put the current deficit we're facing down to that. Day-Day is a big guy, but not as strong as he should be. He's pretty decent under the basket. He gets the positioning right. let's actually have a look and see. Let's quantify the impact he's had. He's already got 8 rebounds, and he's already got 5 offensive rebounds. Yeah, 8 points, 8 rebounds in 11 minutes. That's crazy numbers. Claxton has not really done anything, and that's because he's been restricted to the bench with 3 fouls, and obviously walking on thin ice in that regard. Mikal's been really good with 9, and CJ's been good with 6, but the Magic have really improved shooting-wise. We have had 10 extra shots, have only made 1 more. We've hit the same amount of threes on the same amount of attempts as the Magic, and the Magic have gotten to the free throw line. That is where they are making a living at the moment. 8 of 12 at the line, compared to our 6 free throws. And they have also converted on 52% of their shots. They did have the same amount of free throws as we did in the first half, or the first quarter. It was 6 apiece. In this quarter, I mean, the disparity has grown. Joe Ingles off the bench and Mo Wagner, quality minutes. 5 of 6 at the line for Wagner and 4 from the field for Joe Ingles. So, really good minutes. Really, really good minutes for the Magic there. What do you think about the Levine situation? I don't really give a shit, to be honest. That was incredibly harsh, but I really don't care. Unless it actually happens, then we can talk about it. But I don't buy into rumors as much as a lot of other people would. Gets the ball knocked out of his hands way too easily. I mean, I feel like that's just, it's not nitpicky, but, you know, I feel like given what Dayron's provided, at least today, I think it'd be pretty harsh to talk about how he secures the ball when he's been pretty superb. He's actually at the free throw line right now. Had a bit of short-term memory loss. I completely forgot what had happened before this timeout. Dayron at the line, the first free throw is good. So he has made every free throw. He has now got 9 points. He could be the first net in double figures. Though Clax is at the scorers table, so it looks like we're going to see that change pretty soon. Dayron at the line, that is off on the second, and Mo Wagner bear hugs the ball to ensure the Magic do not give away second chance points. Banchero. Drive, extra feed. Wagner got hit. Still was able to maneuver through, and he scores with the hook shot. So, are we seriously getting cooked by Mo Wagner and Joe Ingles? Come on now. Lonnie, Royce, Spencer Dinwiddie. Step back 3. I thought his toe was on the line. It's off. And a rebound by the Magic. So, we've made 2 field goals and had 3 turnovers in this quarter. Improvements need to be seen. Banchero on the 3, and he increases the lead some more. So, stops, we don't really know how those work. 4 threes made in the quarter for the Magic. It's a complete turnaround from the first quarter where it was actually the flip side. The Nets had made like 5 threes with no Magic makes from the outside. And as I said, it's been turned around in that regard. It's free throws for Dinwiddie after a good drive. Good drive. We've got to really get some stops now. I mean, Claxton's coming into the game now at the 5:13 mark. He is walking a bit of a tightrope when it comes to playing defense. But that being said, when he was on the floor in the first quarter, the Magic were getting put on clamps. So Clax ultimately makes the team better defensively. And I hope that him coming back into the game is actually going to, you know, restrain the Magic a little with what they're doing on offense. Here's Banchero. He's going to back down O'Neal. Shoots the 2. It's off. Get the rebound. No one's there. And there is another Royce O'Neal foul, you fucking clown. Once again, no one is reactive. I mean, we had 3 players contest the initial rebound, but it's about... You've got to be a little bit more alert there. I mean, Lonnie went up with Claxton. Oh my god, that's 4 personals on Claxton. Are you fucking kidding? Are they going to send him to the bench? Bro, Claxton's on 4 fouls and Dayron is back into the game again for a nice little 1 minute rest. So, like, honestly, I think they need to give Harry Giles some minutes. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Bro, you've got 2 players on 3 personals. Like, get the guy in. We haven't made a field goal in 3.5 minutes. He could help a little bit on offense as well. Lonnie into the paint. Hand off to O'Neal. Into the paint. The kick out for Finney-Smith. Ball fake. Dinwiddie. One more. That is an open 3. Walker has to hit it, and he does. That's an excellent bit of offense by the Nets there. Good passing. That's really as good as it'll get. Anthony on the perimeter. Picked up by Finney-Smith. The cross, he fell over. He kept the dribble up. And then Finney-Smith recovered for the steal. It's a 3-on... Oh! 3-on-1, the alley-oop jam by Walker. O'Neal with the feed, and then they are short. Please get the rebound, Dayron. Thank you. 10 fast break points for the Nets. The Magic have 0. Straight donuts. O'Neal for 3. Quick trigger. It's good. The Nets have the lead back, and we have a timeout immediately by the Magic. An 8-0 run in about 30 seconds, and it all started with Dorian Finney-Smith. Excellent hustle. Got his hands dirty. We get the transition buckets. Huge alley-oop jam by Walker. It's perfectly timed. Excellent chemistry. And, well, should I say, it started with the Lonnie Walker 3 and the excellent ball movement on the perimeter. We haven't seen that enough in the second quarter. But it's really good to see that contribute to a nice little fight back. Let's have a look. I said we trade Royce and Dinwiddie this season. I would say those 2 are probably most likely. But that being said, Ben Simmons, depending on his health, I don't think we can trade Spencer. I say we get rid of Cam Johnson if he keeps performing like this. It has been 2 games of his new contract, and you've already said that. Can't agree with you. Claxton out? Nope. He is just in incredible foul trouble. He's already got 4 personal fouls in about 6 minutes. So he's got a bit of the Dayron Sharp curse right now. We really got to stop chucking up random 3-pointers and start looking at good shot selection. Well, that's what we've seen in the last 30 seconds to 1 minute that's fueled an 8-0 run. Net's not deep enough. They are pretty deep, I would say. We've got a number of players that haven't gotten minutes tonight that also could contribute, but for some reason JV isn't giving them a crack. Like, for example, Watford should be playing Dennis Smith. I don't want to see minutes from him. Ben needs to retire. His back is cooked. I mean, yeah, there's not really any 2 ways about it. It is very much cooked. Clowney's with the Nets as well, right? He is not. He is playing with the G League roster. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back in a couple of days' time for Nets Heat before we have the weekend off, and then we'll resume with a nice and early matinee game between the Nets and Philly. So that should be good fun. But yeah, make sure to show your support as much as you can. There's also a donation button if you're feeling, well, super rich. Yeah, obviously not obligated to do that. The Nets versus the Southeast Division. We are 3-0 against them this season. 16-2 last season. And a 10-game home winning streak. So the Southeast Division is the Hawks, the Hornets, the Magic, the Heat, the Wizards. We're incredibly good against these teams. So if there was a full 82-game season with those 5 teams only involved, we'd probably win a fuck ton of games. But unfortunately, it's not that easy, and we have to play Boston 4 times a year. And Philly. So a 1-point lead for the Nets after the Magic held a lead about a minute ago by 7. Out of the timeout, Anthony Black, who's back in, feeds Suggs, who was returned. Suggs is off on the 3. Dayron with another rebound. Is that a double-double already? Very much could be. Dinwiddie. High screen. Dinwiddie the drive. Walker, top of the key, has got Black guarding him. Walker drives. Nearly fell out of play, and he did. And it is a 5-on-3 because we've got 2 players down. Banchero's open, and that is good. So, look, I can't really fault the Nets defense there. It was just we didn't have enough numbers. That's our 4th turnover of the quarter. So the Magic won. Magic's won. Walker to Dinwiddie. There's a number of players queuing up to check in. 3 to shoot. Dinwiddie the 3. Took a couple dribbles and knocked it down. So a good response by the Nets after they were severely disadvantaged on the previous defensive play. We've hit 9 threes in the half on a really good percentage. Banchero in a switch with Dayron picking him up. Shoots the step back 3. No, he doesn't. Extra feed to Black, who's wide open, and he basically airballed it. Dinwiddie is going to push the pace. Sees an opening in the defense. He does not take it on. Dayron with the alley-oop finish, and Dinwiddie with the dime. Dayron's got a double-double in the first half of this game. A half that we lead by 3. Dayron Sharp, a double-double in a half. I did not expect this when I woke up this morning. Anthony Black will drive. The pass to the corner for Suggs. That's good. So a good response. He ties things at 53 with just over 90 seconds to play in this second quarter. Dinwiddie will drive again. He'll get into the paint. He'll shoot the layup. And that is too easy. I mean, Spencer has to take a lot of shots in the second half. He's seeing himself in mismatches with Batadze, or he just takes on his direct assignment in Anthony Black, and that usually is a bit of vulnerability. Banchero for 3, that's good. And this guy is just bloody ridiculous at the moment. So, 7 threes in the quarter for the Magic. That is why they are in the position that they are in. Dinwiddie, the response, it is well off, and that is an uncalled for 3. You got to drive those as far as I'm concerned. Banchero, extra pass, and Black with the 2-handed throwdown. So, Magic playing hard. Playing really well. Walker. Oh my god, man. That's another turnover. I can't be asked with these turnovers, dude. Corner for Finney-Smith. Dinwiddie again. What are you doing? Mate, Spence, I love you, but you're taking the wrong shots. Banchero, 1-on-1 with Finney-Smith. It's a drive. Dayron with the help. Good defense and a rebound for Royce. Banchero took a hit, and the referees are going to say nothing about it. Dinwiddie will hold for 1. And we are down 5. 1-on-1 Spencer. Drive. Pulls it back. The drive. Oh! Where's the whistle? 2 to shoot. Suggs. Oh, not again. Thank fuck for that. That's the half. 60 to 57 the score. And we never even got Cam Johnson and Mikal in the game. In an ideal world, Spencer Dinwiddie is not taking 2 prayers of a 3-pointer at the back end of that half, because we would have had Bridges and those sort of guys in the game. But instead, we're going to just have to live with what we're living with at the moment. So yeah, that is the half. Spencer needs to get going. He's done nothing the past few games. That's a good shout. Thank God we have Sharp. Bro, he's come up big. He has been so important in this game. We conceded 36 points in that second quarter, and there's quite a few reasons to that. One of those is the fact that the Magic have been shooting lights out since their really poor start, which got them in the early hole. They barely turned the ball over in the second quarter, which is another point of emphasis, I would imagine, at quarter time. shooting the ball well overall as well. So they're doing everything right. Banchero caught fire in the second. Wagner's been pretty good. And their bench has also provided some valuable contributions. For the Nets, we were only down by 3, but the advantages we had initially have sort of diminished. The free throw number is in their favor. The threes is also in their favor, even though they've only taken 1 extra. They've scored 1 extra. So they've evened that department up. The turnovers, we were very much prone to turning the ball over in the second quarter. And we're not shooting it awfully. That is a plus. We need to be shooting it better, though. We've had 7 extra shots, so that advantage needs to be capitalized on, really. 7 offensive rebounds. Now, the talking point of the first half, let me just update this, that the player spotlight. Mikal scored 9.5. And rebounds, 2. He's had 4 turnovers, though. That's a bit of an issue. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with at half time. If I can actually... Yeah. Okay, so Dayron is the big talking point. He has played the equal most minutes of any net in this first half. And he has scored... Well, he scored 11 points. He's had 5 offensive rebounds, and he's had 10 rebounds. So he's got a double-double in the first half. And I don't think a net has done that this year. So credit to him, being called up, next man up, essentially. He's also gotten to the free throw line, so it's been a really good performance, even though he's a negative in the plus-minus. He's keeping the team afloat. It could have been a lot worse. Dennis, I don't want to see minutes from him in the second half. Give Watford minutes, bro. Give Watford minutes. If you want someone to facilitate, why are you giving it to Dennis Smith so he can shoot mid-ranges because he inevitably cannot shoot the ball? And he just ends up holding onto it for 24 seconds. Just stunts the offense. Lonnie Walker's been pretty good. He's had 2 steals. He's had a couple turnovers. He's looked a little bit... He's looked like he's been labouring a little out there, but 14 first half minutes, pretty good. Spencer needs to stop shooting 3-pointers because every single time he drives it, he's getting success. He's 4 of 6 inside the arc, and he's also gotten to the free throw line 4 times. So he needs to improve his shot selection because he's doing us in a little bit. Claxton's done nothing. And there's a good reason for that. He's committed 4 fouls in 6 minutes. So basically he's committed straight donuts. Mikal's got 9. Cam Johnson has 6. 11 minutes off the bench. Why has he not been getting a bit more time? I mean, Royce O'Neal hasn't been too bad, but when Cam Johnson was in, the starters were playing a much better brand of basketball. So, yeah, that's the deal. I mean, Dinwiddie, for all that usage, he's had 12 shots. He's not turned the ball over once. Mikal has turned it over 4 times. Give Dinwiddie the facilitating responsibility, and then Mikal can do the work off the ball because that's where he's been at his best in this game. So that is what we're dealing with at the main break. It is 60-57. You can see the box score there. Yeah. And let me just have a look at the chat. Let's see what's going on. How are they getting so many open shots? We're turning the ball over too much. That's probably the simplest explanation. Forest City is obviously a Magic fan, so you'd be very happy at the half. What's your perspective on things at the halftime break, Forest City? Let us know. The thing I don't understand about the Nets sometimes is we don't really have an order in who gets to take the most shots. One night it's Dinwiddie, then it's Mikal, then it's Royce. I think it should never be Royce for starters. But Mikal didn't really have a good amount of time on the court. I think, I'd rather Mikal take 6 shots and make 4, than Mikal take 20 and make 6, you know? So I think, Mikal needs to handle the rock less. He needs less usage, but his off-ball movement is pretty good. And he gets a lot of open looks because of it. So, yeah. Cam Johnson probably on a minutes restriction. Yeah, I mean, I don't really buy into that. if he's good enough to play, he should be playing as many minutes as he can. Especially given this is his third game back, I think. Third game. We could get this one. Well, we should be in front, but it's been a pretty big of a letdown of a second quarter with shit defense, a lot of turnovers. The shot creation hasn't really gone away. But man, I mean, outside of Dayron, like, Spencer's been pretty good. Mikal's been pretty good in the first quarter, but he didn't play enough minutes in that quarter. I want to see him play 3 or 4 more minutes. It is criminal that Royce O'Neal has played the same amount of minutes as Mikal Bridges. Yeah. That should never be happening. The Nets are not deep enough. They literally are. They've already got 26 bench points. 25 bench points. That is on pace for 50. So I don't really value that statement one bit. Nets need to win this one as part of the in-house tournament. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a little bit extra to play for in this game, but I mean, yeah, we've just got to improve in a number of areas. The turnovers is probably the starting point, but the fouling as well. Like, we can't keep them off the free throw line at this moment. And we've got to be a bit better getting there as well. Hoping to see Watford make some minutes. He deserves them. He's been so good for us. Dennis Smith Jr. has just been not a positive, a negative, a clear negative. There's been nothing positive about what he's done today. Like, defensively, we were shipping off the points when he was on the court. And offensively, he chucked up like 2 mid-ranges and another shot that definitely wasn't on offer. So, yeah, I say no more. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back for Nets Heat in a couple of days. So if you want to tune in for that, you know where to be. There's also a donation button if you would like to support the stream in a larger way. Yeah. So that's really the deal of the first half. A lot of work to do. Yeah. I do want to see if Nic Claxton and Dayron also inevitably get into foul trouble, play Harry Giles. There is no reason when we are absolutely getting killed that Harry Giles shouldn't get some minutes here. If there's 2 players in foul trouble, you don't keep playing the players in foul trouble and you don't play small ball because we're going to get absolutely fried against a team that is incredibly tall and has a lot of wingspan. Like, there's just zero reason. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of improvements to be made, but Claxton's got to lift as well. He cannot be as undisciplined as he was in that first half. 4 fouls, not good enough. In 6 minutes as well. Like, that is just inexcusable. So, second half is probably not too far away as well. And on top of that, Clax, you are giving me a -1 in fantasy. A -1.5. Dude. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Alrighty. Nets have been great in the fourth lately. Yeah, but I don't want it to come down to that. I'm sick of these close games. Bridges doesn't go after the ball enough. He needs to start getting into a scorer's mentality. I mean, the 4 turnovers, despite only having six shots, indicates that Mikal probably needs less usage. He can have the scorer's mentality, but he's got to be doing more of the off-ball stuff. Because, yeah, it's just not going to... Like, we can't have him have another 4 turnovers in the second half as the leading scorer. He can't have 8 turnovers. We're not going to win the game on those grounds. I'd like to see Harry Giles come on at the 4 and not at the end in garbage time. At the 4 is an interesting proposition. I don't know how good his 3 ball is. As a 4, obviously it's paramount these days to have a 3 ball. And even as a 5. So, you know, we're going to need some good contributions in the second half. Spencer with 14, Dayron with 11 and 10 in the first half. But we need players like Mikal, we need CJ, we need Doe to start hitting shots. Because the bench did a pretty good job. 25 points between 3 players is pretty good. So, yeah. Dayron, Lonnie, Watford Brooks is the MVP of this team so far this year. I think that's pretty bold. Dorian Finney-Smith has been pretty damn good this season. Probably back to his best. To say Armani Brooks has played 2 games. So that's probably a little bit of a rash call. Dayron's been pretty good in limited action. He's very hit or miss. And then Lonnie has definitely been in our top 3. He's provided some really valuable minutes. He's provided what? He's provided 15 off the bench, which is quality minutes. Cam Thomas is still out. He is for a couple of weeks, I would assume. Bridges is good as he is. Just sucks Cam is out right now because he's like the primary scorer. And Mikal works off that. I can agree. And even Ben, like Cam Thomas and Mikal, feed off the pace that Ben plays at. Like that's where the successes arisen for like the majority of the season when Ben plays. Like we were second in fast break points when Ben was playing, and since then we're like 22nd. Like it's pretty dire in that respect. So yeah. But anyway, it is gonna be the second half in a few short moments. I'm excited for the second half, but it's going to start on the defensive end. We saw in the first quarter what happens when you get these stops and you start forcing turnovers. We were knocking down shots for fun. Another key part of this, the win today, Claxton has got to stay on the floor, man. I mean, Dayron provided really good first half minutes with 11 points, 10 rebounds in 18 minutes. He's also in foul trouble. So we need to see Claxton actually get time on the floor. When he was on the floor in the first quarter, the defense thrived, and he only played 6 minutes. So we're getting cooked because we conceded 36 points. In part, that was due to the turnovers, and the turnovers probably arisen because we were playing way too much half-court offense. Once the defense fell off, with Claxton not in the team, things really started to falter on that end, and we had to start creating stuff in the half court, and that's why you had Dennis Smith shooting mid ranges because nothing was flowing. So, yeah, I mean that being said, all is not lost. It is only a 3-point deficit going into the third quarter. This could go either way. We've got the Heat in a couple days, so we will be live for that, as we will for the Sixers, the Hawks, and then another game against the Heat next weekend. So, plenty of basketball coming your way. A few less games in the next couple of weeks, as like if you compared it to the previous 2 weeks. But nonetheless, we will be covering basically every single one of these games. So make sure to subscribe if you want to stay tuned. Clax is in, playing on 4 fouls. The drive. Suggs the kick out to Banchero. One more for Suggs. That's way too open, and he knocks it down. Way too open. I knew it the minute he shot that ball, even though he hasn't been shooting it all that well in this game, Jalen Suggs. He knocks that 3 down, and that's a very, very good start for the Magic in this third quarter. So, Dinwiddie looking. Claxton is going to hand it off to Bridges. Skip pass to Johnson. The drive. One more for Claxton, and he was partially blocked, and it's going to be the Magic. So, a turnover, and a 3-pointer conceded in the first minute. Banchero, the step back 2, that's off. Long rebound by Bertadze. It is kicked out to Wagner. And now Suggs. One more. Great screen by Bertadze. Eliminated the Bridges contest, but it was a miss. And now Dinwiddie will drive. The Euro. The scoop is off. Claxton, the long rebound. It wasn't that long. But we recycle for an extra. Dinwiddie trying to play make. 5 to shoot. What are you doing? Taking a bunch of shit dribbles. One more. Finney Smith. As the shot clock expires, it's off. And an excellent bit of work by Suggs, although he lost the ball. Excellent hustle by Johnson. Now Bridges. Alley-oop. Johnson for 2. A nice little 4-point swing by the Nets. It could have been a magic possession. But the Nets prevented that from even getting past their own backcourt. So, Nets cut it to 4. Banchero looking for the feed in the post. Instead, the pass to the corner for Black. It's off. And a foul on the floor. We had 4 players under the basket. And for some bullshit reason, we've fouled under the basket. You had 4 players under there. Suggs is very sore. Ooh, ouch. Suggs' arm, got, pulled back. It was almost like an MMA move. It's like Johnson fell on the arm of Suggs. That's gotta kill. That's a lot of weight. And who was hit that 3-pointer? Wagner. So we've gone from potentially getting a rebound and cutting it to a single possession to the lead being extended to 7. I hate that shit. Second chance points that result in 3s kill me. Bridges, good contest. Claxton got a hand on it. He missed it, but we get another look anyway. Johnson, good ball fake. Kick out to Bridges. 3 in the corner. It's off. And then a rebound by the Magic. Banchero, we have 3 back. The pass to Wagner. What is Finney Smith doing there? 1-2. Wagner. Swap by Claxton. And we need to see more of this. Quality. Quality block by Claxton there. We need to see more of that. It's really that simple. It would actually help if he's on the court for longer. Suggs to the bench. That's good defense by Johnson. He deflects it out of play. They have 9 seconds to shoot. Suggs is getting checked out on the bench. He is really hurting. That could be like a dislocation or an AC joint sort of injury. Anthony is off. Get the board, dude. Oh, fucking hell. I hate this. I hate this shit. Anthony. Banchero. 6 to shoot. 4 to shoot. Drive. Layup. Doesn't get the bounce. We get the rebound. It's a 3-on-1. Johnson the layup. That's a foul. And it has to be a goaltend. Bro, what is he looking at? That was a blatant goaltend. And this referee has blinked at the wrong moment. Because, dude, that's clearly off the glass. What are you looking at? Mate, he was there 15 seconds late. I aged the full 2 decades. Mate, you're kidding me. That is a clear goaltend. Clear. If we lose this game by 1, mate, you talk to the league. You talk to the league for a replay, because that's fucking bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. It is right in front of you. In plain sight. Actually, fuck off. I don't care how hard your job is. You got to pick those up. So we've just lost the point, potentially, on the back of sheer referee inadequacy. Rubbish. Everyone saw that except the officials, the ones that actually need to see it. And we have another foul. Bro, they are just... killing us by 1,000 cuts. Inflicting pain by 1,000 cuts. It's just unbearable to watch at times. That couldn't be any clearer of a goaltend. And I'll probably go on about it for the next 15 minutes, and I don't care. Betadze the handoff. Bridges with the steal. It's a dunk. Yes, sir. Defense is lifted with Claxton in. And I'm not one bit surprised. 14 fast break points for the Nets. Claxton sags off Betadze. Fakes the handoff to Black. Instead gives it to Wagner. The drive, maneuvers through. And that is a very creative play by Wagner. Excellent navigation of the Nets defense. And he scores to get it back up to 5. Dinwiddie to the corner for Finney-Smith. Back to Dinwiddie. High screen Clax. Corner for Bridges. 3. It's good. And some Mikal offense is keeping us in touch. Blow for blow with the Magic. Black down the middle. One more. Betadze leaves it for Anthony, who relocated to the corner. The drive on Bridges. The layup is up. And that is... Oh my god, bro. These referees think of shit. And I'll use the analogy. If you know who Mark Goldbridge is, I'll use the analogy he uses. Like a field of cows on laxatives. Absolute shit. That is the equivalent of what the referees are right now. Fucking rubbish. This, mate. Wagner into the paint again. That is way too easy. And it was a good little sheltering by Betadze to prevent that Dayron Sharp contest. He is in the game early. So a little bit of management with Clax on 4 fouls. Dinwiddie the pass to Dayron puts the ball on the floor. And we have a foul on Betadze. It'll be on the floor. So Dayron is causing them issues. We're going to get a timeout with the lead at 4 for the Magic. Let's just have a look at the chat for this. Let's have a look. Bulls fans still been the most respectful so far this season in the chat. I'm trying to remember. It's too many games back. I've got short-term memory loss. I can remember some weird stuff, but I don't remember the shit I should remember. So in this quarter, the Magic are actually outscoring us, which is quite surprising. This is the deal for the Magic. They've got 4 players in double figures, 1 pushing double figures. Excuse me. Turnover is still the same for the Magic. They've barely turned it over. Well, they've had a couple turnovers. Their bench has been far more impactful than their starters. Yeah, that is really the deal. They've hit their threes. They haven't gotten to the free throw line in this quarter, which is pretty important. From a Nets perspective, we're getting good contributions from Bridges and CJ. Let me just update the scoring for Mikal. He's gotten a steal now, which is nice. 2 rebounds, 2 assists. That's pretty good. Claxton has had, well, a couple of offensive rebounds here. He's played 4 minutes in this second half without committing a foul, which is a bonus. CJ's been good, as we've said. And then off the bench, some good scoring performances, but we need to keep up with them on the 3-point shooting and get that free throw counter level. Still have 6 more shots than the Magic. They've made the same amount though as us. We've had the 10 offensive boards, which is always imperative. And the turnovers, well, we haven't really turned it over in this quarter, which is a plus. So defense, we've just got to stay with it. We've got to stay with it. Okay. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back in a couple of days. But for the moment, we worry about the present. The Nets are down 4 against the Magic. Spence has been pretty good in this game. 14, 4, and 5. Claxton, obviously, straight donuts in the scoring department. All right. All right. So we play some half-court offense here. What have we drawn up out of the timeout? That's got to be a foul! Where's the foul? Fuck off, mates! Dude! And they're going to score a 3. No, they're not. But of course, you let Cole Anthony get a rebound. Bridges with the steal. Drive. Euro. Put back dunk by Finney-Smith. But where the fuck was the foul on the previous possession? That is a joke. Mate, clear as day. I can see it on the broadcast. And then Dinwiddie got decked by Batardze's screen. Finney-Smith does well to deflect it out of play. So, Magic offense becoming far more disjointed in this second half. And it's on the back of this starting 5 really getting it done. Finney-Smith to the bench. And this only can result in one thing. Absolute shit. Because Royce O'Neal is in the game. 3 to shoot. Batardze fakes the pass. Oh my god, you've let him dribble it into the paint uncontested with 2 seconds. Dayron. The defensive breakdown, and then Batardze on defense. Disrupting, forcing the steal. Forcing the turnover, should I say. And a wide open 3 for Anthony. And then Johnson gets sent into the next century with a Batardze nudge. So, good two-way play by Goga Batardze. He's just absolutely shoulder-barged Cam Johnson there in the back. So, Dinwiddie, high screen Dayron. Dinwiddie into the paint. Gets the switch he wants. Give it back to him. Give it back. Give it back to Spence. Give it back to Spencer. Nope, he's just pulled out of that. There he is now. Step back 3 with 2 to shoot. Oh! The banker! How does he make that bullshit every single time? Deficit down to 1. Banchero the spin. Good verticality by Dayron. And it's going to be the Magic on the side. Bro, Spencer, do you just practice that shit in training? Seriously, that's fucked. You should not be allowed to make that. Banchero. Oh, I just hate that matchup. What is O'Neal doing guarding Banchero? Clearly killed in the weight room. So much smaller. Like, I don't understand why you would... Like, JV did this in the first quarter. He put Finney-Smith on the bench. Now Dinwiddie's gone to the bench for DSJ. I hate that sub so much. These exact subs killed us at the back end of the first quarter. Magic get the lead back up to 3. Johnson, high screen Dayron. Dennis. It's a foul. It's on Goga. Like, bro, what is Dennis doing in the game? How is Lonnie not the first out off the bench? Unless Lonnie Walker is, like, he looked very ginger in the first half. He may not be playing any minutes in the second half. Bridges. Smith down the middle. Nice layup. Easy 2. So, 4:30 to play in the third quarter. The Nets down 1. Anthony to Wagner. And now Banchero. Rhythm 3. It is good. Mate, Royce, what are you doing? The amount of threes that this guy has hit Banchero. What? Bro, I can't be asked. Seriously, this bench unit, what is he thinking with this? Dennis, Dayron, and Royce in the same lineup. That's a peculiar foul call. Like, how many times did they do that shit in games? Wagner the drive. The layup is good. And unsurprisingly, there is a timeout called by JV because that is just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I don't know what he's doing with the rotations here. I'm actually really in the shits about this. Aren't we playing against the Heat on Thursday the 16th? It's the 17th in Australia, so it's the 16th if you're in America, yeah. It's Friday morning here, Thursday night in America. Royce got to go. JV thinks he's KD. It's just like, the matchup don't work. Why are you playing O'Neal on Finney-Smith when you have... No, why are you playing O'Neal on Banchero when you have Finney-Smith? Why are you making that sub? Wait for Banchero to go to the bench. You just get killed in the size department every single time. Fucking hell. Does my head in. We'll look at the box score. Like, the bench hasn't... Ever since the bench actually went back to being the normal bench, the bench has been shit. Like, O'Neal has gone back to the bench. How coincidental that when the starters... Or when O'Neal was in the starting five, the starters had a shit plus minus, and now when O'Neal's gone to the bench has a shit plus minus. Like, it doesn't... Like, put 2 and 2 together. Like, seriously. It's not rocket science, man. It really isn't rocket science. 4 dimes for Mikal. That's pretty good. So, yeah, that's the deal. I won't do too much explaining here. But, like, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, Dennis, what is Dennis doing on the court? You have Trent and Watford on the bench. If you want a bit of extra size, and Watford is a far more reliable shooter because he actually gets to his spots, like, he's a bigger, more physically imposing presence that can get into the paint and handle the rock. I don't understand. I don't understand what he doesn't provide that Dennis Smith does. I don't know where the rationale is. Of course, O'Neal is still in the game, because why wouldn't he be? It's a 6-point game. Mikal is in. O'Neal is in. Johnson is in. And I would believe that the same 5 on the floor now is the 5 that was on the floor prior to the timeout. Nope, Claxton is back in. Johnson, high screen. Johnson, bit of touch and feel, gets into the paint. And that has to be, bro, that's a clear basket interference. Wagner's knocked it out from underneath the basket. What a cheat code. The play resumes 79-75. Ingles returns for the Magic. So is, well, Suggs is back into the game as well, and he provided a fair bit. Good defense. Claxton forces the miss, and now transition opportunity for the Nets. Dennis to the corner for Johnson. Quick trigger. It's good. And it's down to a 1-point deficit. Johnson's been awesome in the corners today. Really good. 15 points, 5 of 8 shooting. Cole Anthony into the paint. Well deflected by Dennis. It's going to be a continued possession for the Magic. But they will take it in from the baseline with 14 to shoot. Ingles in the corner. Now Wagner on the wing. The handoff back to Ingles. Good defense. And the turnover by Johnson. Oh, the forced turnover by Johnson. And the throwdown. Ugh. Cam Johnson has woken up. 7-0 run for the Nets. What a pirouette by CJ as he collected the steal. Banchero picks up his dribble, forced into a pass. Johnson picks up Suggs. Bounce pass to Banchero. He's blitzed. And now the cross. Suggs with 1 to shoot. It's off. Oh my God, it's an offensive rebound. I swear to God if they hit this three. I can't be asked. Every time, dude. You cannot make this shit up. Every fucking time. That has to be a foul. Where is the foul there? On a Bridges hold. Dennis for three. Oh my God. Bro, Banchero's going to hit this as well. Nope. Didn't even hit the rim. I've just got to act disappointed. Oh my God. Alley-oop! Dennis with the dime. Claxton with the score. It's tied up at 82. And all of a sudden, Dennis proves the doubters wrong. Claxton, is that his first bucket of the game? I have no idea, but the more Claxton can play in this second half, the better. Banchero leaves it for Suggs, and now Anthony on the perimeter. Lonnie Walker gets ready to check in. Anthony, picked up by Dennis. Screen, drive, extra feed. Well done by Clax to hold up the backdoor cut. How did we not get the ball? Royce, you idiot. We get the backcourt, or not the backcourt violation. What am I saying? The 24-second violation. But mate, we had the steal ready to go. Instead, we're going to have to do it starting from a dead ball. But, mate, Royce has... Bro, every time you say Dayron Sharp has Butterfingers, just look at Royce's film. Like, bro, because he fumbles it more. Way more. Claxton body bump. He is fouled by Wagner. Suggs was there for the block, which he executed, but it's going to be free throws. So Claxton minutes, better minutes. So Claxton at the free throw line. I don't think we've seen Claxton at the free throw line like at all. At all. This season, thus far, obviously barely played. Free throw one is good. And I think this is going to be one step in Claxton's jump this season. He's got to make his free throws at a very high rate, or a higher rate than he did last season. I think it would have been around like 60 to 65%, if that, last year. So he makes the first, which is good. And the second free throw is also good. That looks like a quality free throw routine and form. We lead by 2. Paul Anthony picked up tightly by Dennis. And now Mo Wagner, top of the key, will hand it off to Anthony. The drive, Dennis pokes it away. He is livid. He is livid. Because he did knock it away. However, he did have to go through the body to get that. So it's going to be 2 shots for Orlando. They're in the bonus. The Nets are in the same boat. Pretty entertaining third quarter, I have to say. First free throw is good for Paul Anthony. And the second is good. So it is now all square. 84 apiece. The Nets have gotten the free throw number up as we wanted. Basically evened it up. Isaac is in the game for the Magic. Dinwiddie in a switch. Mo Wagner picking him up on the outside. Dinwiddie's doubled. Pass to Royce. 8 to shoot. Dennis. Oh my God, we're going to have to live with the Dennis 3. Nope. A Claxton layup because there was a defensive breakdown under the basket by the Magic. And it left Claxton with an open look. Suggs! Ugh! Nearly threw it down. Instead, long rebound for the Nets. It's blocked, but Dennis there for the follow. It is an absolutely ridiculous end-to-end type game to end this third quarter. What the hell was going on there? I'm amazed I kept up with it all. Suggs nearly sent Claxton to another dimension with that dunk attempt. Fair play for having the audacity to try it. Isaac, the pass to Wagner. Ingles, 5 to shoot. Wagner in the paint. Layup is good. That's an excellent move. Can the Nets return the favor and score from half court? Walker, 3 is well off. It hits the backboard. And that is the end of the third. But what a quarter of basketball. Jesus Christ, Suggs. My God. That could have been a disaster for Claxton there. All right. Royce is good if he just plays like any other normal power forward instead of doing this random stuff. I wish it was that simple with Royce. He's a bit of a fucking idiot, though. He's a bit of a donut at times. It's just strange that a coach puts out plays with 4 fouls when they need an entire fourth quarter. Well, our 2 main bigs in our rotation are both on 4 fouls. So, I mean, if it's not one, it's the other. So, you're seeing the impact with Clax in the lineup. It's pretty incredible. When we needed stops, we've gotten them. And Claxton has been spearheading that charge. Having Johnson back is nice. It's quality. I feel like you wake up at night having nightmares from Royce O'Neal. Yeah, sometimes I wake up in the morning with severe headaches because I have sleepless nights. Royce O'Neal, that highlights package of his just, oh. Bro, that is enough to kill a man emotionally. Plenty of emotional scarring involved in watching Royce O'Neal. I actually did a video on it last year, and it has applied ever since I did that. And I did it 8 months ago, or like something along those lines. It still applies. He does something so good, and then follows it up with something so shit. If you haven't seen my recent video as well, I did a video on the Nets Clippers game. I did a bit of analysis, talked about the Nets bench, or the Nets depth, should I say. I basically said in that, we have sequences where we suffer from the Royce O'Neal disease because we'll get a steal, but then we'll fumble it and we'll turn it over, you know, and then or give away a wide open 3, which is knocked down. So inevitably went from it turned into a 5-point swing when it was completely avoidable. I can already feel this fourth quarter is not going to be good for my heart. It's every game. Every game something has to happen. In classic Nets fashion, as Jeremiah alludes to. Here we go, ladies and gents. Buckle up. Buckle up. Third in-season tournament game. We are 1-1. Obviously, a win would make it 2-1. We've played the most games out of any team in the group. Alrighty. 5 on the floor for the Nets. Dinwiddie, Walker, Smith. That's Dennis, Claxton, and O'Neal. Dinwiddie well picked up by Isaac. Good screen by Clax. Alley-oop! Ah! Ugh! That's saucy. And Dinwiddie has a reputation for throwing up really absurd lobs to absolutely no one in particular. But on that occasion, he found Claxton excellently. And there's that lob threat that we were missing in the first half. Good defense by the Nets. It forces an Isaac 3, which is off. You live with that. And a rebound by O'Neal. Dinwiddie across to Walker. Cross. Pass to Claxton. Dinwiddie. High screen set. Drive. O'Neal on the catch. Nope. Then the C's parted and he missed. Oh, that is a let-off and a half. O'Neal, bro. The C's opened up. That should have been a regulation push shot. No one was contesting this. It was like from about 7 feet out. He's very lucky he bulldozed into Mo Wagner and he was in the restricted area because he's getting 2 free throws at the line. So, free throw 1 is good for Royce, who isn't very renowned for getting any trips at the free throw line. I saw a stat before. He's made like 90% of his points have come from the 3-point line this season. So he doesn't do much else in the interior. O'Neal rims out on the second, and the Nets lead by 5 after trailing by a fair margin in the first half. in the third quarter, should I say. I don't know how I get those two mixed up. Wagner, bit of touch and feel. Isaac in the corner. It's good. And that's a big make by the Magic. Granted, I think we live with those because I don't think Isaac is an excellent three-point shooter historically. DSJ to O'Neal to Dinwiddie. The high screen set by Clax now. Bit of touch and feel again. Gets into the paint. The skip pass to Dennis in the corner. And he's nearly turned it over. O'Neal, ball fake. Took a couple dribbles. And knocks down the three. Good response. And O'Neal, that's a big shot. We needed that. We desperately needed that. Just for a little bit of stability. O'Neal picking up Ingles. Good defense by Dennis. He forced it out of his hands. And then they look for the lob. Isaac falling out of bounds. Had to pass it back into play to save it. And we force a turnover. O'Neal, cross court for Dennis. Do not shoot the three. He drives the kick out and he's thrown it out of bounds. That is the Dennis Smith experience, ladies and gents. He should have just gone up. Should have just gone up. It will be Magic ball at the 9:45 mark. If Dennis just hits that pass, we could have had a three-pointer wide open. I just completely combined open and pointer. I don't even know how you do that. Wagner, Royce fighting through the screen. In the end, he leaves the wide open look because he went underneath. However, it was a miss. Lonnie pulls up for three. It's good! Yes, sir! And all of a sudden, the Nets offense is flying. And it was pretty well done by Lonnie, who gave off the perception that he was going to drive it. Because he was bringing the ball up with pace, but then he just stops and shot the three-pointer. So, good spacing. Good shot selection. Good awareness and composure as well. So the lead is 8. And all of a sudden, things are better with the world. No one streaming for us Magic fans, so I'm glad I found y'all. Well, I mean, if you want to stay notified for any other Nets Magic games, you're more than welcome to subscribe and tune in for the for those streams that may concern you. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. Yeah, we'll be back in a couple of days for Nets Heat, but we're usually going to be streaming every single game, so your team may be involved as the opposition of the Nets. But let's have a look at the box scores. You can see for the Nets, what are we dealing with? We've got 14 for Mikal. He really has done absolutely nothing in this second half, but he hasn't really needed to because a lot of other players have picked up the slack in the second half, and a big part of our lead is Claxton actually playing. He has played 11 minutes in the second half. He is a team high plus 16. And when you look at the bench, and they haven't really contributed as much, having Claxton out there on the floor is imperative to our success. He's been quality in the second half. Spencer Dinwiddie was good in the first half in keeping our team afloat. And then you've had some high efficiency performances from O'Neal, Walker, and CJ, all hitting at least half of their three-pointers on a minimum of 4 attempts. So we're shooting the ball well. We've stopped turning the ball over as well. The rebounds have been solid. We are out rebounding the Magic by 5. And we've also evened up the ledger in free throws. It is tied at 16. The three-pointers, we have only 1 less. And the shots, we have 7 more. The Magic have gotten a lot of good scoring as well. They also have 6 players in double figures. So yeah, we lead in this last quarter points-wise 9-3. So a good run by the Nets. But there's obviously a long way to go. As we've seen, the game can swing tremendously in your favor in a matter of minutes. And we've seen this in the last probably 5 minutes of game time. Magic will look for a good shot here because they need to slow our run. Banchero's doubled. Wagner fakes the pass. He drives. The push shot is short, and the rebound by Lonnie Walker. It's a good take, and he just lets the crowd go by and waits to give it to Spencer. So, Day'Ron Sharpe on the perimeter. What? What is this rubbish, dude? Bro, they are just... Tony Brothers is one of the most arse referees I've ever witnessed ref a game. This shit's rubbish, man. Banchero for 3. That rims out, and all of a sudden, those shots that were being made in the first half, they're not getting as much success. O'Neal is open for 3. It's off. Day'Ron fights on the glass, but the Magic secure. And now Wagner in transition. Rolls it out to Suggs. He's picked up by Day'Ron. Corner 3 for Wagner is an air ball and a rebound for Smith. And we don't need to do anything stupid with the lead. Dinwiddie will use the screen of Day'Ron. He shoots the 3. He knocks it down, and he wanted the whistle. He's not going to get it. That's been the way things have gone for the Nets today. Dinwiddie's made the tough shots. He hasn't made the easy ones. And it's an 11-point lead. Another turnover. That was passed to Walker. O'Neal. Oh my God, what is he trying there? O'Neal thought he was lobbing this one up to LeBron James, dude. With a no-look 3-point launch. That is a clear foul on Dinwiddie. He's been hit on the lower arm, the forearm, by Joe Ingles, yet no call. Doesn't matter, though. Well, it may matter if the game tightens up down the stretch, but it'll be Nets ball. The alley-oop lob was deflected out of play by the Magic. Oh my God, Day'Ron. Mate, these foul calls have been fucked. Suggs has taken a shot. So he looks battered and bruised. Day'Ron has now got 5 fouls. The good thing is Claxton played 11 minutes without committing a foul. So he's going to be... Well, he's on 4 fouls at the moment, and that looks a hell of a lot better with only 7 minutes left in the game. Banchero picked up by Dinwiddie on the baseline. The turn. Oh my fucking God. Another foul, dude. And Dinwiddie's just going to diffuse the situation by walking away. Mikal is back into the game. Like, I don't know where the foul is there. That's just a physical... I mean, what do I know? I don't really play basketball. I've never have. Probably never will, but still. It's fucked. Oh my God, Suggs has blown the second dunk of the night, which was uncontested. Johnson in the corner. Another foul on the floor, and it's Ingles who will pick it up this time. But Suggs has missed 2 consecutive dunk attempts. It was a good backdoor cut and a good find by Batadze, but I mean, that is summing up the second half for the Magic. Excuse me. Ball inbounded. Bridges back in with his fellow twin CJ. Dinwiddie. Oh my God, he finally got a whistle and he was able to contort his body to square up with the basket. He scores for 2 and a free throw coming up. So now the Nets are just starting to pull away at the right time. It's a 13-point lead with a free throw to come for Spencer Dinwiddie. And this has been a quality probably last 5 or 10 minutes of game action. And it's been, well, surprisingly, it was DSJ on the court when it happened, and Royce O'Neal has been in for the whole run as well. Banchero is doubled, blanketed by O'Neal. Ingles the extra pass. Batadze is fouled, and Day'Ron will have to take a seat. That is his night done and dusted. That is his 6th. At that point, what are you doing? Just fucking, like, absolutely chop at his arms to prevent him from even getting a shot up. So, with Day'Ron out, it'll have to be Claxton, who is on 4 fouls, not fouling, twice for the last 7 minutes of this contest. Hopefully we can get the lead out to a sizable margin. So if Clax does get fouled out, we're not going to get punished. And the game is safely in our hands. Batadze makes the free throw, and it's back down to 11. And we've got, 7 minutes to play. A long, long way to go in this one. Dinwiddie, corner for Bridges, gets by the closeout. The kick out to Johnson. Corner for O'Neal. He gets by the closeout. Nearly a turnover. Dinwiddie the three. It's good! +1! This guy is hitting bullshit. Bullshit jumper after bullshit jumper. He's been fouled on his last 2 threes. He's made both. Only one was called. And then he hit a 3-pointer off the backboard in the third quarter over the arms of Batadze. So this guy's just absolutely toying with the Magic defense. I mean, if he misses these threes, you're like, what the hell is he doing? But as far as you're concerned, as Dinwiddie misses that free throw, as far as you're concerned, you just say keep on firing because they're all going down for you. Dinwiddie, I believe, has probably got about 20 in this game. I can't keep up. Anthony into the paint. Claxton stays with. Good defense by Claxton, but Batadze there for the challenge. And it's a good score. So, back down to a dozen. Mikal, drive, runner, off the glass. It's good. So, we've reached the halfway point of this last quarter. The Nets already have 108 points. They lead by 14. Banchero the cross, the drive, and O'Neal is hit with the foul as Banchero went up. So it's going to be 2 more shots. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well. We'll be back in a couple of days' time. So if you want to tune in for that, it'll be an absolute cracker with the Miami Heat. That free throw is well short by Banchero. Saba, where you from? New Jersey here reppin'. Australia, mate. Australia, mate. All right. Second free throw is good for Banchero. And it is a 13-point lead. Dinwiddie whips it to the corner for Johnson. Early offense off the window. CJ scores, and we are 7 of 8 from the field in this last quarter. It's been a quality offensive showing. Claxton picking up Banchero. He hands it off to Suggs. Into the paint. Claxton is there defensively, and Wagner puts one up. Claxton gets a hand on it, but Wagner with the follow on the third bite of the cherry. So 5 or so minutes to play. It is a 13-point lead. Bridges picked up at half court by Wagner. Lost it, but regathered. And now he will slow down the tempo just a little bit. He finds himself in a switch with Batadze. 1-on-1. He's going to shoot a 3. Bit of separation. It's well short. And I beg we don't fall into this habit in the final 5 minutes of shooting rubbish 3-pointers. Half-court defense has been pretty good, though, in this quarter. Good rollover, except for that 3, which was well open, but Clax flies in for a rebound and shields it off. Mikal nearly just fucking turned it over. Suggs was alert defensively. However, we were able to get it over the half-court line. And now we will wind down the shot clock. 5 to shoot. Dinwiddie whips it across. O'Neal, ball fake. Anthony was flying into the first row of the bench. And O'Neal knocks down the wide open 3. And this, believe it or not, is our largest lead. We were down by a margin which could have really gotten away from us in the third quarter. But this has been an excellent response. And O'Neal is acting like he's him when he really isn't. But, you know, fair play to him. He's been part of the unit that has gotten us this victory. That being said, we haven't won yet, so I should really shut up. I probably just jinxed it. But really good second half. I mean, we conceded 60 in the first half. The defense is lifted, and it helps when you've got your best defender on the floor. Nic Claxton take a bow for not committing a foul in this third quarter, this final quarter, whatever you want to say. The Magic have found everything difficult. And, well, as you can see, the Magic, their shooting has deteriorated as the game has worn on. They've actually had a really good amount of scoring from 7 of their players that have hit double figures. Banchero's been pretty good, but he's dried up offensively. Wagner's lifted, but Joe Ingles, I mean, he hasn't scored a point in what seems like an eternity. And Mo Wagner much the same. So they haven't really gotten the contributions they got in the first half from that bench unit. The starters haven't really done much to compensate for that. And then if you look at things from a Nets perspective, well, let's just get the box score changed up. Mikal well, he hasn't had to do too much in this second half, and you would have thought that actually would have been required from him, but it's been other players picking up the slack. Spencer Dinwiddie leading the way tonight for the Nets with 26 and 8 dimes, which has been, well, it's been an awesome showing, and he's knocked down some absolute bullshit threes in the second half. He's hit 3 threes where there's been 2 he's been fouled on, and 1 he banked it in with a center picking him up, basically smothering him. And in the first half, he was 1 of 6 from 3. He's actually just scored every single 3 in the second half. Mikal's got 16, but CJ's been very underrated today. He's scored 19, shot the ball well, and he's gotten 3 steals, which I think is a bit of an underrated part of his game. But Claxton has been the most important piece. It only says he's played 19 minutes, but the 13 minutes he's played in the second half have been vital. No fouls in there, which has allowed him to play quality minutes. He's a plus 29, and Spencer Dinwiddie is the same. So, yeah. And O'Neal's got 13 as well, which I think we shouldn't brush over as well. As much as I give him shit, he's had a really good game today, shooting 4 of 6 from the perimeter. Dayron did well in the first half, but he hasn't had a point or a rebound in the second half. And Lonnie Walker's done what he's needed to do. So the Magic resume with 4 minutes to play. Suggs on the drive. The block by Claxton. Get that shit out of here. Ugh. Dinwiddie. Cross court. Nope. He's not going to feed Royce. He was indicating that he was going to pass it there, but still in possession of it. Dinwiddie one-on-one with Wagner. He's going to drive down the middle. Corner 3. CJ. It's off. Good time management, though, and a pretty good shot to go with. That's a 3, and that's off. And a rebound for Claxton. Keeps it high above his head so Anthony cannot chase it up and pickpocket him. So 3 minutes to play, 113.97, and we're well and truly in control of this game with not long to go. Shot clock will wind down again. Dinwiddie in an ISO with Anthony. He's going to shoot a 3. Yes, sir. It's in. He got it. He's feeling it. It's a 19-point game. He is him in this second half. And that's his 4th make on 4 attempts in this second half. Banchero gets the soft bounce off the rim. The Magic. We got spillage. We got spillage. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I've completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. The Magic are shooting 29% from the field in this quarter. We're shooting 77%. There is the difference in the game right there. We've made 6 extra field goals. I would imagine we've gotten to the free throw line as well. We're in the bonus. They aren't. So we've held them to 29% shooting and have not committed a foul in that as well. So that is a credit to this defensive unit or the defensive capabilities of this team. Let's have a look at what you're saying in chat as well. Best game for Spencer by far this season. Yep, I can say that unanimously. You know it's closed when even Royce is shooting 3s. Yeah, well, the fact that Royce has made 4 of 6, I mean, that's pretty important to the success of our team. We need Royce to be playing well. I don't want to be the guy that is constantly cursing over the way Royce plays, but he does it to himself. When he plays well, though, we usually win. I always found that fascinating that it's morning in Australia and I'm over here getting ready for bed soon. Yeah, it's really weird. It is really weird. It's even worse in the UK. Like from here to the UK, when I'm watching a game of Premier League at 12 a.m. No. Yeah, 12 a.m. It'll be a 3 p.m. kickoff. So it'll be midnight here. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff over there. Like, that's fucking confusing. Really confusing. I wish it wasn't that bad because it makes it a lot harder to watch games. Mikal is swatted. Oh, wow. That's an excellent play by Banchero. It got hit off him as Mikal was falling out of play, but he was able to actually gather the ball fully, and now he will feed Anthony, who shoots a deep three. That's off. Rebound Johnson, and now Dinwiddie will get it by half court. We push the pace, and O'Neal will just slow things right down. The Nets are now above 50% shooting, and the Magic are at 45%, so we've done an excellent job to reel it in. That's an offensive foul, and I think it's on O'Neal because he's just shoved Jalen Suggs out of the way. You should be watching Spurs. I mean, yeah, I'm not really a Spurs fan, to be honest. Everton fan through and through. It's 3:42 here. AM or PM? Because if it's AM, you're an absolute psycho. That being said, that's proper commitment, and I can fully recognize and appreciate that. Banchero will try drive on Dennis Smith. It was deflected, but O'Neal, mate, butterfingers. Once again, we had a steal and he couldn't rake it in. This guy is so bad at handling the rock. It's ridiculous. I think there was a game. Which game was it? Like a few games ago that O'Neal just had the ball swiped by the Ghosts. Like, he just lost it. No one had deflected it. No one was putting pressure on him. He was just facilitating and lost the ball. And it was a turnover. It may have been against Boston or Milwaukee. I need the total to pass 218. It's at 216 right now. So you should be okay, but the bench has been emptied for the Magic, so obviously that's a sign that this game is well and truly done. The Nets will go to 2-1. 2-1 in the in-season tournament, 6-5 on the season. The Magic score that one, so obviously, Andrew, we're at 217 now. So you just need one more basket made. It'll be absolutely tragic if it doesn't get there. The Magic blitz. Dennis gets by. Johnson had the open three, but he's not going to do anything because time is on our side. If we knock it down, it's happy days. If we don't knock it down, well, then we play into the Magic's hands. Good drive by Dennis on the spin. Flipped it up and in over the top of Mo Wagner. And there is your total, Andrew. You've gotten there. Enjoy the winnings. Wagner to the other Wagner. That's Mo. Back to his other brother, Franz. I don't even know. I just made up a name there. That's pretty quality by me. Good creativity. That's a three being made by Houston. Not the team. The player, Caleb. Ball bypasses half court. It's a 14-point lead. This was a great win again. Good bit of resolve shown by this team. And all of a sudden, the stream has just completely vanished off the face of the earth. Never mind, it's back. 4 to shoot. Mikal shoots a three. It's open, and it's good. And that is the exclamation point on a big, big victory for the Nets. 17 points up. And I tell you what, it's been on the back of this second half. It is absolutely ballooned to this margin in recent times. Good deflection by Mikal. Johnson chases it up. 1-on-1. He is fouled by Mo Wagner. And it'll be 2 shots with 50 to play. Well done by Mikal to force the deflection and the steal picked up by your boy, CJ. Great W for the Nets, for sure. AZ Alkmaar. That is such a left field selection. I rate that. Also, at Rome, it's 4 in the morning. That's actually cooked. I don't know how you have the mental capacity to even operate at 4 in the morning. Aston Villa balling this season. Pretty quality stuff by Villa, but can't beat Everton in the Carabao Cup. Could never be us. 3, quick trigger. That's off by whoever the hell that is. I think it's Jet Howard, the first year rookie. Obviously, a first year player is a rookie. I don't know why I said that. We're up 18, and the clock will wind down. We are just going to, let the clock wind down. Maybe one more 3. Another exclamation point. Oh, God, Royce, what are you fucking doing? What a buzzkill, mate. Just shoot the 3-pointer. Stop going for this drive bullshit. You don't know how to pass the ball, and you don't know how to shoot mid-ranges. Just shoot the 3. You're shooting 4 or 6 today. I actually would have backed you in to make it. Magic will run it down. They'll probably get a shot up. Never mind. Mikal with the steal again. Just rack up those stats. And Mikal with the finger roll to get it up to 20. And that'll do it, ladies and gents. We win by a grand total of 20. And that is a huge win. 124, 104. We're going to do a post-game. So I hope for you to stick around if you're leaving. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back in 48 hours. If you want to drop a like on the way out and subscribe. If you're new, you want to stay notified, make sure to do so. Is this our biggest win of the year? It 100% is. If we end up with the same score as another team's points scored will matter. That's true. In the in-season tournament, points differential does matter. So we now have a point differential of 8. Obviously, considering that 14-point Celtics loss, they have the highest point differential. The Magic now have a negative 20-point differential, so they're always going to be chasing tail. But we are second in our group. Huge win. Magic fans, welcome back next match. 100%, I welcome back all supporters. Obviously, the NBA isn't the NBA without fans of many different teams and plenty of discourse. So with different fans and different perspectives. So I welcome every single supporter back. Let's have a look at the post game and the Nets. Well, in the second half, we outscored them 67-44. It was an absolute domination in the second half. Let me just get the box score stat line sorted for Mikal Bridges, who had a pretty good second half. He scored 21. But you know what? We didn't have to really rely on him to get the job done because there were not really any passengers in this game. He had 4 steals in this one as well, Mikal. So a good second half by him. He turned down the turnovers. Definitely a good win for y'all. Well, the game was there to be won in the second half, and we well and truly lived up to the occasion. But respect to the Magic for, keeping things competitive until obviously the last quarter. We did the things that we needed to do right in the second half. And it really started with playing Nic Claxton. He only had 6 minutes in the first half. Went on to play 21 minutes. So 15 minutes a half is probably what you're aiming for with Claxton, especially when he just returned from injury. He had a really good second half. And even though the stats wouldn't indicate it, the defensive anchor we needed was on the court. And we saw defensively how much higher the ceiling was with him on the floor. Mikal was very efficient in this game, which is quality. The 6 turnovers aren't great, but he had 4 in the first half. So it was good to see him cut that number down. And he contributed to a number of fast break possessions with the steals he got. So did Cam Johnson. Excellent game back. Obviously, it's taken a couple games for him to find his rhythm, and admittedly, he has not been good enough. But in this game today, we needed players like him to perform. With Cam Thomas out, we need a number of players on the floor to contribute. And Cam Johnson scoring 20, 3 steals in there, shooting the ball well from 3, 4 from inside the arc. couldn't ask for more, and he was a plus 21. So that's going to be so important with this period of time that Cam Thomas and Ben Simmons are out. Spencer Dinwiddie was excellent, though, 29 and 8. He's got to be the best player on the court. In the second half, he was 4-4 from downtown, which is just baffling to me, given he was 1 of 6 in the first half. He only took 6 shots in the second half, but he got to the free throw line as well. Yeah, just a really good performance by him. Only the 1 turnover as well. A number of good alley-oop dimes to Claxton and Sharp. He was a team high plus 25 as well. And in a win where you won by 20, you look at that and you say, well, Spencer Dinwiddie was spearheading this win. So as far as I'm concerned, he shouldn't be taking the most shots every night as he did today, but he should be facilitating as much as he did. 8 assists, only the 1 turnover. And he scored 29. That's just the added bonus. 3 20-point scorers in the win tonight. That's quality. And then 3 bench scorers also in double figures. That's quality as well. Lonnie with 11, even though it looked like he was sort of laboring a little bit. Dayron Sharp in the first half at 11 and 10. So he was keeping us in touch, even though he was a little bit foul heavy. And, you know, he was with a unit that wasn't really performing. He's actually only one of 2 players to be negative in the plus minus, which I don't think is indicative of how shit he was, if he was even shit. Dennis was good in the second half. He had 5 dimes and 6 points. He was also a part of, the unit on the floor that actually started the comeback. So yeah, that was quality to see. Orlando doesn't give up these types of points. Even the Bucks couldn't get over 100 on the Magic. We will meet again. Indeed, we will. Happy to have you in the stream. But yeah, Orlando are one of those teams that could very easily be like a trap game. If you you underestimate them, they will punish because they play hard. Orlando isn't an easy team to beat, and you're breezed right by them in the second half. It wasn't easy in the first half, of course. But yeah, we take those. Nice to have a margin instead of the usual heart stopper. Well, at 3/4 time, we were talking about how this could be a very close game down the stretch, but in the end, we outscored them by 18 in the not in the second half, in the last quarter, and that made for a very relaxing final 5 minutes. Our rebounding has improved this year. We win the battle each game. Nearly every game we've won the rebounding. In this game, we had 13 offensive boards. We won the rebounding battle by 7. And we talk about the key stats we were talking about at the half. The Magic actually reduced the amount of, or the shot disparity, because it's now only 85-82 in our favor. But we ended up hitting 19 threes to their 16. So they dried up tremendously in that area. And we were shooting just a tick under 50%. The free throws also very much even as well, even though we only made 65% of the free throws. Yeah, and 13 steals as well. There was a game earlier this year where we had 10 steals and 10 blocks. I think it was the Nets Clippers game. So to have a performance like today where we conceded 60 in the first half and then ended with 13 steals, that really demonstrates, the defense. Claxton, I can't emphasize enough how important this guy is to our team. But yeah. And if we look at the Magic, we can't really disregard what they did. Banchero with 19, 21 to Wagner. Batadze wasn't too bad with 14. He kept the center rotation for us accountable. And then Jalen Suggs had a couple dunk attempts, which he'll probably want back in that second half. So he was a team worst negative 27 as well. That is not something you want to be associated with. Off the bench, Ingles and Wagner started the game well, but they did nothing in the second half, and that's probably why, Orlando sort of faltered and couldn't really keep up with us. I do want to go back. Let's just have a quick look, though, in the chat. Starters showed up today instead of the bench for a nice change. Well, yeah. I mean, the bench also showed up. If you look at the bench, like how many points they accounted for, 22, 28, 41 bench points. That's pretty good. 41 bench points is right on our average. So it wasn't like it was a down game or anything. What were the foul stats? 24-16. We had 24. Our roster is balanced. What is our ceiling for standings? I'm thinking like the 5 seed. Well, it depends how many wins would get you the 5 seed, because I think 45 wins is achievable. Because we've basically gone toe-to-toe with every single team bar Boston. So yeah, pretty good stuff by this team. I'm just going to double check. How far down were we in the third quarter? It got out to... So we only started going on a run here. And we were down at one stage, 66-59. So that was our largest deficit. And from that point on, we outscored them 65 to 38. So that's an absolute abomination of a scoreline right there if you're the Orlando Magic. Team stats also, I would not be surprised if our fast break points are through the roof. You can see points off turnovers. We had 20. They had 27 points off turnovers. So we weren't probably as punishing as we should have. But look at the fast break points, man. 31-7. And a lot of those were just like easy layups on the other end because we were getting those steals very high up in the Magic offensive sets. So like you were like 2 steps away from going across the half court line. So Magic defense couldn't really get back, and we had less ground to make up in order to get it to our basket. So those 31 points came in clutch. Obviously the 13 steals align with that. And the fact the Magic had 9 steals but only had 7 fast break points, I think is, well, you got to pay the Nets defense some credit. Also, the 52 points in the paint to their 36, we matched up well size-wise. Claxton was a presence every time they went into the paint. They saw Claxton and were very much inclined to roll it out. So that's what Claxton does because of that blocking, that shot blocking threat that he poses. But yeah. The refs did their best to help the Magic, but in the end, their team let them down. I should say we rose to the occasion. I think that is probably it, because if you outscore someone 65-38 in the run home, well, then you're doing something right. So, yeah, hell of a job. This one is probably now done and dusted for me. We will be back in a couple of days' time for the next stream with the Nets taking on the Heat. That one will start from, let me do a quick check. It'll start from the exact same time that it did today. So 11:30 if you're in Australia, that's Eastern time. And then if you're in America Eastern time, it'll be 7:30 Eastern. So we will be here from that time. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up from me. So hope you enjoyed this one. We will catch you in 24 hours, 48 hours for that game. Make sure to stay safe. We will talk to you soon. And yeah, that'll do it. Bye for now.